Lately, I've been meditating quite a bit over something that it was always a big question in my heart. And what I want to talk about is the American dream. You know, I wonder why and what happened when a young kid that came from Cuba as an immigrant child, no money, dire poverty, but yet, you know, parents that were very, very moral. My mom was very, very Catholic. So I grew up in a home that family was critical, family was important, education was the most important, and our faith in God was the most important. The reason my mother left Cuba, because she wanted her children to live in a country where they could worship God freely. So I came from Cuba, and then I grew up, and I was the American dream. Never did drugs, never did alcohol. I was the youngest employee of the Federal Reserve Bank at the age of 17. Went to University of Miami. I worked full-time and went to school full-time. And then I always wonder, because what happened in my life that within a very short period of time, I went from being that American dream to become America's #1 nightmare. How is it? I look at a lot of kids and we say, well, there's no doubt that that person or that young man was going to end up in jail. Look at his surroundings. Look at where he grew up. I mean, what chance in life did he have? But I look at myself and I had absolutely no excuse. I was an honor student. I had a tremendous reputation. I believed that by the age of 30, I was going to become a millionaire. But see, the problem was I was empty. And the reason that I was empty was because I was trying to find meaning in what we call the American dream. See, if we really analyze what is the American dream today, it's not what the American dream that made America what America is today. The American dream of the World War II generation, greatest generation, a generation that had marriage problems, but divorce was not an option. A generation that hated the war, but to serve was an honor. A generation that rather be an hour early than a minute late. That was the generation that created the American dream, that we could come to this amazing country, this amazing experiment that we call America, where we could work hard, put our children through school, save for retirement, and buy one house and one car, and live a happy life with a strong family. That was the true American dream. But see, that's not the American dream I bought into. I bought into the American dream that the more women I had, the more cars I owned, the more power I achieved, the more wealth I accumulated, then I would find that meaning to my life. And that's the problem today. We are doing nothing but propagating an American dream that is non-existent, an American dream that our children will never ever achieve, an American dream that in reality 99% of the population will never find. But the 1% that finds it will realize that is non-existent, because at the end of the day, the happiest person in the world, the wealthiest person in the world is not he who has the most, but he who needs the least. I found meaning to my life laying in a jail in Mobile, Alabama, expecting a life sentence, not knowing if I would ever see my father or bury my mom and dad, see my children get married. But all of a sudden, my life had meaning. Had meaning because I was created for something much greater than what I was living for. And it wasn't until the day that I forfeited everything I had to the government. One day I woke up being a multi-millionaire for the rest of my life. Next day I woke up not having money to buy a candy bar. But not having money to buy a candy bar, but believing that there was a God that was going to change my heart and give me meaning and was going to give me purpose to life, fulfilled all the emptiness and all the desperation. Was life made easy after that? No, it wasn't easy. But all of a sudden I had meaning and I had a hope, and then it was hope I could live.